First of all, I'd like to thank the Rico and the PFU team that they invited us here and gave us the chance to present and show you some cool stuff. Actually, we are one of the oldest, or Europe's oldest AI company. Planet means planning and application of neural technology. So we were founded in 1992. So we survived quite a while with that. Even the AI winter, where the hardware was not good enough. And the main focus, what we did already, is image and recognition in cognitive solutions. We are very strong in the traffic surveillance market and also in the logistics. So we have very big customers like US Post and FedEx, where we read addresses and information from parcels during the fly on the sorter. And since a while, since some years, we focus on document understanding. And our main problem is that nobody knows how good we are and what we do. So I'd like to give you a short overview. Some of you guys already heard. I think it's my 13th or 40th presentation in these days. The solution I like to present you is IDA, Intelligent Document Analysis. So we really start when you see the whole process in the beginning. You scan something, then you have the whole document and understanding process from reading, classification, extraction. That is IDA, where we start with. And then we have a very cool new chatbot or process bot system, which contains more than one bot and is reliable and can organize the whole process. And as you heard in the other presentations, that AI is just starting to get better and better and better in that area. We will come to that in a minute. So when we give you the solution on the server, everything comes in a package, so you can install the server and then you have everything available. Normally, the client's using our system on-prem. Of course, it runs also in the cloud, but because of all the security issues, the clients love to have it running on their machines. So all is on-prem possible. If you see from the beginning, we start with recognition, then detection. Detection means marks or signatures or barcodes. After the detection, you can normally choose classification. It's also very cool stuff, how we do this. And then you have extraction modules, and underlaying is a search. The advantage, what we do right from the beginning handwriting, even historic handwriting. So all the tests we measured, we are by far, at the moment, the best reading technology or reading solution. The handwriting, we normally is something around 95, 96%. Machine print, of course, you're close to 100%. And the throughput is on a GPU server, 70,000 images per hour. So one of our biggest clients, the German Post, they run 100,000. I've heard that your fastest scanners are about 80,000, yeah? And I'm correct. Okay. Of course, we also have a patent, which takes a while to get it, but what you see here on the left side, that is the patent about how we can store loss-free information from the document. So we have a patent that when we read it, we have the information, we capture the information without losing it. So that's what we do on the left side, and as you see what the other do normally on the right side is something missing. And that, in the end, makes a difference if the quality drops or if you go to handwriting. Then to have all this information on the left side makes a huge difference. And just to give you a little bit an idea and an impression of the recognition, I start with the workflow. You scan the image looks like this. Then we create the AI metadata, so the loss-free representation. And then on top of the metadata, we can make a transcription. So I have on the green part, don't have to know the language. So all what we do is completely language independent, but out of the box for all Latin character sets. We have also implemented Chinese and Arabic, and new character sets like Cyrillic. I think we need 6-8 weeks to do it when we have the samples. Yeah, then we put everything what you see here in a smart PDF. So in the end, instead of a image, we have a smart PDF containing the transcription and the metadata. And of course, beside that, we can also supply all the information in a JSON or in a XML or other customer-made output format. Yeah, to give you a little bit an idea, if you haven't seen it so far, it's the search. Normally, the search runs integrated or embedded in the customer's software solution. But to give you an option, we made a UI. So in the top, you key in whatever you're looking for, a word or combination of words, or you use it with a regular expression, also numbered, whatever you're looking for, then the system goes through all your documents and finds it and highlights it. If it's darker blue, the confidence level is higher, and if it's lighter blue, the confidence level is a little bit lower. As you see here, the system don't care about the background and the foreground. So the system has learned what is background, what is foreground. And to make this very robust and very reliable, there are a lot of interesting technology in here. So with the team, we took part on the competitions ICTA, ICFR. These are some like Olympic Games of the research community, where they compare the technology. And here we won of 18 competitions, we won 16. So in all this technology is here integrated. That means how to find lines, how to transcribe it, how to delete background. If you remember some years ago, you have to delete the red background from the forms or so. That's all not needed anymore. And even what you see here, if the resolution drops, or if you have handwriting, or you have coffee on this document, it's very, very robust. So our experience, or what we measured, is if the quality drops, the difference between what we read and what the other read, it's bigger. And I think it's very important if you have a real production system that you can read everything without errors, or with less errors. When we took part with the search thing here on the competitions, the border for keyword search in English handwriting was 38%. We are now language independent at 98%. That means it's really hard for you to write something on the paper which the system doesn't find and understand. And what we have here, this is from the Stasi archive, the East German KGB, I would say. We just open a PDF, as I mentioned. The PDF, they have some layers. It's normal Adobe PDF, and then you can click on the layers, and you see behind the writing in the image is the writing from the text. So you can also copy and paste it. This just to give you a little bit idea how it works. We have also on our website, you have free trial. You can just put in your own documents and try it to get an experience. Or you ask Andreas on our booth, and you can also get an installation. Yeah, there are some other things like, I know, the Stasi, they watched Gorbachev at that time. Okay, we can go on. We also, for the show, we just made an Arabic presentation, and the Arabic works in the same way. When my Arabic is close to 0, so I cannot read it, but the people who understand it said it was not so bad. So normally we expect for Arabic the same results for handwriting and machine print like we have on the other character sets. And of course we are happy to work with some partners here locally to get more information, to integrate it, and to make it more round if there's something missing. Yeah. This is so how the Arabic should work. And Arabic also is one interesting case that normally you write from right to left, but it was new for me that if you have some Latin characters inside, then it goes from left to right. So you have to look with more knowledge to your writing and to the documents, that in the end, if you search for something or if you transcribe something, that you don't miss the directions of reading and writing. Yeah, and the same UI you see here, you can also find in the internet on our website, and then you can try with your own documents to get an idea about it. Okay, this was some reading what IBM, so IBM DataCap and the German GBS is using it, and we implemented it in big insurance, and one of those insurances is the AOK, and before they used it, they made a test. That means they captured 20,000 images randomly from their actual incoming mail system, and then they had three big groups. One was invoice, mostly machine print, then they had handwriting, and then they had insurance forms. And the insurance form normally machine print or hand print. And then they measured, so the customer and IBM measured, we didn't saw this, the results at all. So just in the end, that there was a difference. And what you see, I think the reading, even as a preparation for AI, is very important to have it very accurate. Just to give you an idea about the quality or what's still readable, have somebody an idea what that to read? So that we got from Ancestry, they had maybe a bad day in scanning, or they used the wrong scanners to scan their old archives. That was the result what our system gets out of it. So this a little bit the feeling where AI is, what's the level? And I think that, at least in my opinion, we just reached the human level of reading in that area. So normally if we supply it, we have either the recognition server, that means everything is sitting on the server, or we can also apply it as the SDK like the chaps from DataCap using it in the US. The second interesting part is the classification. So after you have read everything, the next task is to classify the document. And here it's interesting, for instance, insurance, they have all the same incoming mail, but they have all different classes, from 100 to 300 and more classes. And the hospitals, for instance, that's completely opposite in Germany. They have, I think, 300 classes on the output side. By the government, they said you have to have this, but they have all different input. So we created an AI chatbot where you just set up the class, put maybe 50 or 100 sample documents in, press the button, that's it. The system completely learns out of the box by themselves with no rules why the document belongs in that class. And then you can set a confidence level. So if the confidence level is not reached, let's say 97%, then the image goes to a human operator. The human operator can confirm it, so you get a suggestion from us about the classes. And then this result goes back to the training. So how it looks in reality, so you have one big client in south of Germany, they scan 1 billion documents from hospitals, and they already tried with one of our neighbors in the market here with Kofax, and they spent 240 days of work, whatever they did there, and finally they reached 53%, and the customer was not so happy. And we went there, made 1 day installation, 1 day training from their staff on site, and then the staff on site make the classification training. In 1 day, they reached 91%. So this is a tool what we can offer to everybody, and it's easy to use. The usage look like, the UI looks like this, so you also don't need any coder, you just can do it. Open the folder, put the documents in, and then you have a very nice UI to balance with the read rates and with the threshold and with everything that you get the right output. Very easy to use, easy to scale. The third interesting part is the extraction. So if you have the classes, then to each class you can think about how to extract the right data. Here we have two approaches. We started with the extraction assistant to handle structured and semi-structured documents. And the other approach is the LLM. We call it zero-shot learning. There you have to, as a name mentioned, nothing to do. 0 shots, and it works out of the box. The extraction assistant works in that way that you have you load an image from a structured document. You can set up a field and mark the field. Sounds better. So if you imagine you have a approach like this, and you like to read the name, let's say the date, and the IBAN number. It's underlaying, it's a LLM, so you don't have to do anything. You just go back to the same UI. You choose or give it the name so that you find it again or can load it. No, we don't need the music. I'm in the flow. And Then you just give a name for the field you're looking for, and the only description you see here, it's the name of the sender. So the system already knows what the sender is, how to find the sender, and to read it. And the next field is months, and the only description you see is months of the date. So the system knows the date consists, it's a day, it's a month, and it's a year. So we do the same with the IBAN number, and that's it. That's the only configuration we need. So you can also ask the system for everything what you expect the smart secretary should know, like the color or the shoe size, or, this doesn't matter. We also have tested or done it with several other use cases. Then you go with the document in and start the reading. The only disadvantage here on the zero-shot learning is you need a little bit more power from the computer. So you cannot run it on your laptop if you expect very fast results. You see this is the result, it marks it, so where it finds it, how confident it is, and the reading. So this is, I think, a very, very interesting approach to help customers or to help you to solve problems which are really, really difficult to understand or different. It's a very nice use case we had. So US Imaging is a big US company. They scan the land records for about 30 states. And they have, at the moment, they had, let's say, more than 700 people in India keying in the document. And they have a problem with the quality, and they had the problem with the time, because they had, for instance, for Hawaii, was 30 million documents. And first, it's very expensive, and the second one, it's they like to extract the data and to understand what's the buyer and the seller. And we showed the CEO that the system can learn easily to find the buyer and find the seller and to find the number. So the system automatically extracts all this information, and you have 200 years old records, or 150 to now. So it's mixed of machine print, handwritten, completely different forms and structures. So, and what we also do, what I forgot to tell you, is all the classification and extraction also includes the splitting. So we can do all the enhancement. If you scan, you don't have to put the white papers in between to split the document types and all this. You just scan everything you have, and the system does everything completely automatically. So it knows when a document starts, when a document ends, when the next document starts. So all this is, at least if you use this kind of technology, is history. Okay, the most interesting part, I think for the researcher at least, is the AI chatbot or process chatbot systems. And we did an interesting use case for one of our partners, Bechtle. Bechtle is the biggest European IT company. Normally they sell scanners and hardware. And they make 2 billion sales just in applying official tenders. So they scan official tenders. They have more than 100 people scanning it. Then they're looking for the right information. And the idea of the 100 people is to fill in out of the tender this kind of table with all the information. And of course, we help them. So now we train the system. Now we load the PDF which contains maybe 10 tenders or 8 tenders, something like this. And the system has learned to understand the tender, but really understand, like a smart assistant. And now I give him, this is German, but I can help you. We give him the task to say, okay, please look at all the documents and put for me a table together with all the information. Who is looking for what it costs, what's the criteria we need. For this one who can speak German, this is Ausschreibung, means the tender. Then who did it, short description. Then the amount and the criteria of what's important. So now the system or the assistant goes through all these documents, extracting all the information, put them in a nice proper way, and give me all the information I need. So this is, I think, a very new and very interesting way how we can handle now and process these kind of whole things. And what's interesting, that the system not only have an understanding how to extract these things, so it's a really understanding about what is written in the tender. So in a few seconds, we think, okay, looks good, but to sell hardware is not a good idea because hardware is just a margin, it's a little bit. Bechtle told us that even on iPhones and Apple stuff, they have no margin, they just sell it more or less for nothing. So you tell the system, okay, please sort the same thing in a different way when I like to sell software. So, and give me a scoring in the end, from 1 to 10 and so on. So now the assistant goes back to the same tenders and looking with a new approach to the tender, say, okay, now we sort you the same thing with the approach that we like to sell the software and give you a scoring, what you see here on the right side, about what you should go first. So that means that the system and the assistant have an understanding about what is red, what's the criteria, how important they are, and so on. And to give you an idea, we had also a very nice use case in Brazil where it works in Portuguese because it's language independent, so you can also run in Portuguese where they have investigations where they collect all the documents and papers and folders what they can get, the police. And then they had maybe 50 gigabytes of documents and they like to look for tenders or for bank documents, for contracts, for other important stuff. And it worked out of the box very good. And sometimes in the answer, we have this a Brazilian friend of mine, he checked because our Portuguese is not so good. He was wondering why the answer sometimes was more information in the answer than in the document. And this is because this is a smart assistant. So what we do now, it's my brother did it actually, because he's one of our CTOs, we load an image. This is from my grandma, a recipe how to do herring salad. As you see, maybe if it's so. And we just ask the chatbot, please tell me what it is and what I can do with it. So now the system takes IDA, so our document and analysis system, as a tool, reading this document and give me advice what it is and what I should do with it. And he knows that this is, now he comes and says, okay, it looks like it's a recipe for herring salad, and then he gives me some suggestion how to make it. So this is the answer why there was more information in the answer from the Brazilian documents than was standing only on the papers. So this is the automatic. Okay, back to the example process. This is IDA, this is the expert process bot system. What we do, we have a system where we integrate what you see in front. We have an open interface where we can integrate the latest, the newest, the best open source LLM model. And what we do, we make from this, let's say this is the student, we make from the student an expert. So we make this thing in the middle to train the student to be an expert in tenders or offices or in medical documents. And we think it's a very good, if you see it in a more open way. SPOC means single point of contact. So you just have one assistant, you ask him the questions from the student, and the specialist can handle this, and he uses it either as one of the tool sets. And he can also access to other tools, like he can go Google or use your own database or use an Excel sheet or whatever you have there. So this experts then look in the little brighter way. It's not one expert like ChatGPT, because we all know that ChatGPT can be also very creative. And normally you don't want this in your business process. You want to have a reliable process where the answers you get are really there. So that's why it's a bot system where you have a task who creates it. You have a very reliable system who manages. You have an execution agent who's able to address different tasks and different modules. And you have an evaluation agent who can check it. So if we, for instance, read or come up with an IBAN number, then the task evaluation agent can check if it's really there. Use IDA, go to the document, check if it's really there what you come up with. So In the end, it's a little bit more compact view. Is this something you can handle and you can offer, and there you can organize your whole process? For instance, one of our bigger clients, the Bundesagentur für Arbeit, so it's a working agency or something like this, they came and said, oh, we spend 25 billion a year, so money is not the issue. The big issue to go for this system is that we losing in the next 5 years 25 to 30% of our people. And the idea, and I think this is globally, that it's hard to find good skilled guys they work for, and these agents can handle a lot of the easy or normal tasks. Yeah, what I think what's important to take away that if we come with the system, the first thing you should have an immediate return on investment. We should save you money, time, or help you with some other tasks. And beside that, you have a very nice platform where you can think about new things. What we discovered when we implemented in the UniCredit, that after they had it, all the other departments were looking at the one department and say, oh, this is cool. I also like to have it. And they getting creative when they saw what the first department did with it. And we have in Rostock more than 50 people just in research and development and fast growing. So I think we implement in 6 to 8 weeks the latest research into our product. So every 6, 8 weeks, if there's something really new, important coming up, like new LLMs or new research technology which make an impact, then we integrate this in the solution. Yeah. Okay, I think that was a short overview of what we do. And if you have some more detailed question or like to see something, we have a booth here. Yeah, if you maybe you have some question or not, then.
Thank you, Hagen. That's great. Oh, we've got a question over here.
Hello. I would like to know how the sales are actually working. What kind of sales models you offer for your solution?
What I mean sales models, we have normally it's by volume. This is the if this is the question, oh?
Yes.
Okay, so the licensing is in 3 modules. You have the reading, you can have the classification, or you can have the extraction, and this is normally done by the volume.
So that means, if I understand you correctly, if I find a customer and offer your solution, there's no upfront cost.
No.
There is very little implementation time,
yes.
and the customer pays per use.
Yes, this is normally the use case.
Thank you.
Just in case a customer likes to have a global license, then we also go sometimes for a company or global license, but it's not very often the case.
That's great, thank you. Great question. Any other questions? No? Excellent. The one over there? Ah, sorry.
You mentioned UniCredit as a bank. Did you implement it in other banks?
No, we just have to UniCredit and then other good big clients like German Telekom or Deutsche Post or UBS, USPS. Let's see, but it's the those banks not though.
Okay.
So
but
far not.
Anyway, specific should be addressed to other banks, you know, because
we work on
processes
that.
are similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but we are not so focused. I know that if you go to a bank, the bank said, "Oh, this is. I like to see a bank form," and the insurance does the opposite. The insurance say, "Okay, I like to see an insurance form," but for the technology, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you very much. Any other questions for Hagen? Hagen, thank you. That was excellent.
Thank you.
Very, very interesting.
I'll leave it here.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah.